What's up, everyone? It is the MMAOB Daily Podcast. It is Sunday, October 27th, 2024, and we are here live. And I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, and I'm joined by my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to be recapping UFC 308, Topuria, Holloway. Great card, Marcel. Can't wait to talk about this card with you, man. I knew it was going to be a good one. It definitely lived up to the hype, I think. Marcel, how's it going, man? How are you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, man, doing well. Everything is going well. Was a little bit late, of course, because of daylight saving times, and I hate that shit. But yeah, we're here, and we're not queer. I don't know what I have to say, but yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I sent Marcel a message a few minutes ago, and I was like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Oh shit, it's daylight savings time here." So, apologize for being a few minutes late. Although it worked out pretty well because I wanted to watch that late football game, and the Washington Commanders just won on a Hail Mary play on the last second, which is absolutely insane. So, yeah, looking forward to talking about UFC 308 with you, Marcel. But I do want to make a small announcement, Marcel, before we start the recap, guys. And you know what? I'll read the messages first, and then I'll go for the announcement, which is a good one, which is definitely a good one. Joe, what's up, my brother? Glad to have you here, man. Your Eagles look great today, dude. That was a great game by them. Quato, what's up, man? Knox, what's up, man? Great card. Yeah, I agree. True, what's up, man? Thanks, dude. Larry, what's up, man? Antoine, what's up, brother? Glad to have you here, man. Craig, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, too. By the way, Craig, since you told me you didn't like, I know it was you as your buddies at work that they don't like Tim Hortons. I noticed it today too. Wasn't that good? So it's still free though, so it's good. But yeah, I maybe I'm starting to catch on what your buddy said. Yeah, Antoine, it was great. It was. Your Falcons were killing it, dude. Like I was just saying, I just watched that Commanders ending. That was insane. I literally was looking over at Marcel, and Marcel was like, "What the hell just happened?" But you got a little bit excited there, Adam. So, all right, guys, I got a good announcement here, and Marcel, we have a sponsor for the podcast.
We're expecting a baby.
Yeah. That's what he's hiding under that shirt. No, but we have a sponsor, guys. This is awesome. So we got a sponsor here. I'm going to throw it up the banner here. The MMA Daily Podcast is presented by Bet105.eu, which is just phenomenal. So we do have a sponsor now for the podcast. Let's give ourselves a clap here. Give a shout out to the boss man, Mr. Nick Kalikas, Marcel, for hooking us up with the sponsor here. But yeah, Bet105.eu. I'll just throw them up here on the screen, guys. I want to give them a shout out because they're giving us a little bit of something on the side, which is nice because we love doing the podcast. So here we go. Bet105.eu's got everything. I just pull up the UFC odds. They have MMA, UFC Edmonton, which we'll obviously break down next card. So the banner's going to run at the bottom of the screen. I mean, again, it's a sponsor. We have to help them out. They're going to help us out. So yeah, Marcel, I'm excited about it. I know you are. Anything you want to say really quick, man?
Yeah, definitely good. Of course, we love to have a sponsor, and they were obviously we're also happy to have us on it. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Of course,
yeah, no, it's awesome, and
yeah, it's good.
It's a really good website too. Bet105. They're an offshore sports book. They have some good welcome offers now for new users and stuff. So if you want to check them out, you can bet on everything you want, all the big sports, including, of course, UFC. So when I do the odds now going forward, it's going to be from them. And as long as the sponsorship lasts, which hopefully Marcel is a little while. They're also sponsoring Half the Battle with Dan Levy, who obviously a lot of you guys know from the MMA community. He's a good dude too. So they're sponsoring him, sponsoring us, and yeah, just wanted to give the word out. But yeah, we appreciate them, and we're looking forward to hopefully a long relationship, Marcel. And we got some guys in the chat that are happy about it too. So yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it. All right, let's get this comment here from Pato. Who should I contact with Talbology? Change your fighter's name.
It depends, man. If you really have just like a name change, you can ask me as well. But give me the details. But if it's like record changing and that kind of stuff, you probably have to fill in a ticket on the website, But
one guy, Rafael Cerquera, his name was spelled differently. I don't know if you noticed.
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is,
one F, but his Instagram says two Fs. Why did they say that?
I know why. So I asked his manager, and his manager told me his official spelling is one F, but he likes his name better with two, so he spells himself with two, but it's just with one.
Who's his manager?
The same as Almeida, Jelton Almeida. It's like Thiago Okamura, but there is like Leonardo Patera.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just fixing the banner here. Put it in capital letters. There you go. All right. Get a couple of comments. I appreciate you guys. Thanks, guys. All right, cool. Let's get into the recap. So we'll go through UFC 308. I mean, obviously a phenomenal card. We're gonna go through it one by one. Picks wise, I think I did okay. I mean, I went uh, 9-4, I think. I think it was 13 fights, right? I believe. I think it was.
No.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 9-4. So got a couple wrong, obviously, but did pretty well. I think you were like this. I don't know what you were, but it was similar, I believe.
I think I had like I had three main card fights wrong, I think, or two or three.
Oh yeah.
Which
But
I
you
don't
got you picked Aslan though, which is one I got wrong. We just talked about the guy. And,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you got Silva too. I guess you had like 7 or 8, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It was kind of an interesting card. I mean, a lot of the favorites did win, but there were a few upsets, and there was one that should have been an upset in the first fight of the card, which we'll talk about. And Ponto says it's just a name change. You guys talk about that after. Send him a message or something. Ponto.
If you can send me a message through Instagram, because I don't know if I follow you on Twitter, so I don't know if you
just
can
send him a DM. Marcel's DMs are always open, man.
Yeah, on Instagram, on Twitter, not.
Yeah. All right, let's go through the card, Marcel, one by one. Start with the main event. Ilia Topuria knocks out Max Holloway. First man to ever knock Max Holloway out. I did pick Topuria. I thought he'd win the fight, but I didn't think he'd knock Holloway out, and that was incredible. So it was a close fight. I mean, 2 of the judges had it 2-0. One of them had it 1-1. I had it 1-1. I'm guessing you had it 1-1, right? You had it 1-1.
I saw this possibility for 1-1, 2-0
for either guy. Really, like it was close.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was close. I had the first round for Max barely. He did land more strikes in that round, but Ilia did land some good shots. And then the second round, I gave it to Ilia, really close one. And then the third round, obviously Ilia knocked Max out. So, yeah, I mean, it was an incredible performance. Obviously, I really enjoyed the fight. It didn't last like that long. I guess it went under 2.5 rounds, so it wasn't fight of the night because we'll talk about the other fight, which was amazing. But this was a really good fight. I was actually, Marcel, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, they're gonna give this fight of the night, aren't they? Like, not that I would have hated it because it was a great fight, but the other fight in the prelims was the best fight of the card. I think we can all agree on that, right? But Topuria gets a bonus, obviously, another bonus for him. He's won bonuses in 5 straight fights, by the way, Marcel, 5 straight fights, which is amazing. First man to ever knock Max Holloway out. So we did see the chin go a little bit against Gaethje, where he got dropped, although the stat counter said he didn't get dropped. You know what would be funny, Marcel? They said, oh yeah, this isn't a knockdown either. And this fight, like, just to keep the streak alive. No, but yeah, I mean, all the wars, man, all the wars. Nuclear bomb from Topuria is going to knock a lot of people out, but I think all the damage Holloway's taken throughout I think he's been in the UFC for like 13 years now, which is incredible, right? Been in so many wars, never really been hurt that often, so it was coming at one point. And also, I think he's cutting a lot of weight to make 145. I mean, you saw the pictures and videos before the week, Marcel. You saw that interview with him in Ioli, I think it was. He looked pretty, like, it was a pretty tough cut. Yeah, I think that he should go up to lightweight. But let's start. I'll get your thoughts in a sec. Just want to finish on Topuria. I mean, the guy's incredible, and I actually tweeted that he's the hardest pound for pound puncher in the sport, and I think he is. I really do, because he knocked out Volk and Holloway with punches back to back fights. 2 guys that are very durable. So he's amazing. He's a great fighter. He's 8-0 in the UFC now. He's knocked out 5 guys in the UFC. Submitted 2 decisions. It's almost like, actually, I would say the guys that he didn't knock out, which would be Josh Emmett and Yusuf Salal, their stocks go up a little bit, Marcel, to be honest with you, just because they didn't get knocked out. Oh, Marcel jumped out. He'll come back in a second. But yeah, guys, I mean, you guys all watched it. It was an incredible fight, incredible performance. And yeah, I mean, it really comes down to who's the fighter of the year. Is it Topuria or Pereira? I don't think you can go wrong. And I even tweeted today, like, this is a 10-10 round. Marcel, I was saying it's a 10-10 round for who is going to be fighter of the year. It's either him or Pereira, because you can't go wrong. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the fight, man. I know you loved it too.
Yeah, man. I mean, it pretty much went as I expected. It was a close round. It was a close fight. And Topuria knocked him out. I expected him to finish Max. I told you that I expected it. Topuria just has so much power, man, and Max is great, man. I think Max looked pretty good, to be honest. You said about Max that he looked rough with the weight cut. I think so too, man. When I saw him being interviewed with his earring on, he made me think of Tony Ferguson, man, for some real, and that's not to insult or anything, but it made me think about that. So, but man, Max is still top notch, so this loss doesn't do anything to him, in my opinion. He's still amazing. Yeah, great fight, man. I mean, it was all that I expected. It was a great fight between 2 of the best fighters in the world. and we saw so spectacular finish.
Yeah, it was sick.
You asking about Pereira
Yeah,
or
just your
Ilia?
thoughts.
For me, it's clear Ilia, and listen, I don't mind if you pick Pereira or other people pick Pereira. I mean, he got 3 great wins, but if you look at the strength of competition,
Yeah.
Topuria
Yeah.
not just won, but he knocked out the 2 best featherweights of the last couple of years, besides Aldo. So, and that's back to back, where actually, like, a lot of people thought that. I know a lot of people thought he was overhyped when he fought Volkanovski. He got some more respect from
Can't say
people.
that anymore now.
No, definitely not. I saw so many people picking against Topuria.
A lot of people
man.
don't like him for some reason. I think he's great. Like, I don't know what's not to like about the guy. What, he's confident in his skills. Like, he was nothing but like respectful. And also, I want to say this too quickly.
Yeah.
There's been all of a sudden all these people in the media that keep asking these guys, "Do you respect this guy? Do you respect?" Like, who gives a fucking shit? Honestly, like, I don't care if the guy hates each other. I don't care. Literally, guys, they're getting in the cage to beat the shit out of each other. Like, your goal is to hurt the other person so much they fall asleep. Basically, that's the goal of the sport. So I don't understand why it's always like, do you respect this guy? Is he respectful? Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, you gotta like love these guys that they're like able to go in there, beat the shit out of each other, and give each other a hug after Marcel. But if they didn't, I wouldn't have a different opinion about the guy.
No, I'm just looking at skills. By the way, Adam, I want to apologize to you because you are absolutely right. Power slap is amazing.
Yeah, there was some suck-up journalists at the press conference. I don't know if you guys have seen it. There was one guy that said, like, Dana, hi, Dana. I don't have a question, but I just want to let you know you're the best promoter of all time, and you should never retire for doing this. And Dana's like, okay, thank you. Dana's like, what the fuck? It was funny. The guy's trying to get a job or something with the UFC. I don't know if this is not going to work, buddy. Like,
dude, fucking talking about power slap after a UFC 308, man. It's like, dude,
that's really funny when you think about it. Yeah, that's funny. All right, a couple other comments by we had I like him made in the chat. Knox says Holloway looked good. He did look good, but again, I think that weight cut is tough for him, and he's not going to do it anymore. He's going to 155, where he looked better than ever against Gaethje, and that's why I was like, okay, is he making the right call here? But again, he had to take the title fight. You're not going to say no to it. I get that.
The thing is, like, he had a fucking choice probably to either fight for the title at 55 or to fight at 45, and maybe if you listen now, it's like talking after the shit has happened, but maybe if you look at it, maybe he should have done the 55 one, because 45, if he won against Topuria, we would have probably got a 4th fight with Volkanovski. On the other side, if he wins that fight the 4th time against Volkanovski, we probably get a 5th fight between the two. So it's like, I don't know.
I'm glad that we're not going to see that fight again. Honestly,
me too.
You don't need to see it. And by the way, there's all these people saying now, like, oh, it wasn't decisive. Like, Volk beat him technically 3 times, but he definitely beat him the 1st and 3rd time. I thought Holloway won the 2nd fight. I think a lot of people did.
But. Yeah, but I don't understand that people still saying like the 1st fight was close.
It wasn't close. I was actually there for it. He won every round. And the 3rd fight, he won, I think, every round. He beat the shit out of Max. So
the 2nd was,
Yeah, it's just go ahead.
He dropped him the second fight.
The 2nd one I thought Max should have won, but the judges on Fight Island gave it to Volk. But anyways, whatever. I mean, like, again, I don't want to get into the whole argument about who's the featherweight GOAT between Aldo, Max, and Volkanovski, because they all fight each other and they all have different wins over each other. So it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it's just difficult because after Aldo, you had Holloway, who pretty much dominated, then you had Volk, who dominated.
I'll be honest, I kind of leave Volk because he beat Max and Aldo, so that's kind of why.
Yeah, I understand that, but for me, it's like I always look at how long have you been dominant in the division, So for me, it's still Aldo. Volk for me is 2nd, but I don't argue if somebody puts Volk first. Holloway's 3rd for me. I think Ilia's 4th.
Ilia could be the number 1 guy of all time potentially.
Yeah, but Ilia's also
right now.
Ilia surpassed McGregor at the featherweight, in my opinion.
I mean, McGregor, he was great, but he never defended the belt, right? So
exactly. That's big the
conversation.
To me.
I mean, I left him out of it, but he knocked out Aldo in 13 seconds. I get that. It was an amazing win. I'm not going to ever take that away from him, but immediately took time off, immediately went to fight Ali Alvarez at 55, never defended either belt, and still, all these years later, still not fighting, but everyone talks about him. So,
by the way, I see Zach in the chat. Let me get the sip of my drink.
A lot of comments. I gotta get through them. Bad Apple. Oh yeah. Spurs arguing having the best back-to-back wins in history possible. I mean, 2 back-to-back knockouts over, and I think that Volk and Holloway are ranked pound for pound, right? I think they're both in the top 15, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, not that it matters, but I could check right now. But yeah, no. Does the KO make fighter of the year? Fighter of the year is still option. I mean, it's up to you guys. It's a hard thing to say.
The only problem I have with people picking Alex over Ilia is that they don't like Ilia. Look at it from a non-biased way, and if you still own Pereira, I'm cool with it.
No, I agree, but I think it's tough because Alex won 3 fights. He knocked out 3 guys. Also, he knocked out 2 former champions in Hill and Yuri. And then the round 3 fight, which was actually his toughest fight, which is crazy. It was a good fight. So
the only problem is if you look at the champions, Yuri never defended the belt, Jamal never defended the belt, and Khalil should have never been there. So although
honestly, Marcel, because of the strength of competition argument that you made, and I was thinking the same thing, like I would probably lean Ilia right now because he knocked out literally 2 guys that are like some of the best pound for pound fighters of all time. And I think knocking Max out, like if he won, not that doing a decision would have been bad, but if he had won a decision, it would have been great. But the fact he knocked him out, and he knocked him out brutally, dude, it was awesome. It was sick. I know you were like, holy shit, dude, that was awesome, right? Yeah. Is this what you need to see to really show you how good this guy is, Marcel? Because I know you were sold on him, but not as the best guy in the division, right?
I was sold on him for a long time. You know, I still think that, for example, and it sounds crazy to people, I think Mopsar can give him a difficult fight. You know,
I mean, we'll talk about that in a second. What his next fight could be like. It's going to be Volk. Let's talk about that right now. Actually,
he deserves it. I don't mind. I really don't mind.
And Dana said the same, and I said the same thing in the Discord. I was like, you're giving it to him because he did them a favor last year when he fought Islam on short notice. That's why they're giving him the title shot. Because and also what he did in the division. I get that, but like I'd rather see him fight Diego Lopez personally. I'd rather see that fight. I think. Okay, go ahead.
I like Diego a lot. He's a great guy, but to be really honest, I don't think he's at that level yet.
We'll see. I would with Diego, it's either he fights the winner of Aljo versus Evloev, or he fights Josh Emmett, maybe, or like who the Ron Murphy call out. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Or the other option, I think, and I know he lost his last 2 fights, but Yair Rodriguez is also up there. And they could do them in Mexico, right?
You know what they should do? They should make Volk fight Lopez in Sydney. Give Topuria some time off. And
you're going to say for an interim belt. We don't want it.
I don't need an interim belt. Just like a 5-rounder, you know?
If that's the case, then I'm fine with that, but they're not doing that. They're giving him the title shot. I mean, he was in the cage, so he's getting it.
I'm good with it.
I don't hate it, but I just rather see Lopez, a new fighter. By the way, I like this fight. This fight makes all the sense in the world. Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway for BMF. That makes sense, right? You like that one?
Yeah, why not?
The thing is, everyone's saying Dustin Poirier, but I mean, Dustin's beat him twice already. I don't know if I need to see that fight again right now. Like, I don't hate it. If they're going to do Max and Dustin, I'm obviously going to watch it. I'll watch it.
What was Dustin talking about?
Dustin wants either Ilia or honestly, Dustin's turning into Connor now a little bit, right? He's just like tweeting about all this shit after these guys have an amazing fight. It's kind of annoying, man. I'll be honest. He retires after the fight. He didn't really deserve the title shot against Islam. He did it because he got it because of timing, and also he knocked out Benoit Saint-Denis, which now looking back is not that great of a win, to be honest with you. Like, it's an okay win. I'm not saying it's a bad win. I picked Dustin in that fight. He was a huge underdog. I love Dustin. I'm just saying, like, I find it annoying when like a guy has a great performance and these other guys try to like get attention. Like Connor does it all the time, and Dustin's kind of following the playbook now. So I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about Dustin. He's a legend. I love the guy, but yeah, I mean, I just think, he's not going to 45. So why is he calling out Ilia?
Yeah,
Ilia's supposed to go to 155 and risk his and basically risk his standing as a pound for pound fighter. I also think it's really stupid the BMF belt wasn't online. So you have the guy that he got knocked out. Now he's still BMF. That doesn't make any sense.
You know what's funny? That Ilia had that BMF belt with him, but that he just bought on UFC stores. So it's like, and so so friends of mine are like, oh, he also won the BMF belt. It's like, no, he's parading with that all week. He
I would have did the same thing. And actually, someone in the media, I don't know who it was, they were like, do you think the BMF belt's cursed because the last 3 guys who won it got knocked out? Masvidal got destroyed by Usman. What was it? Gaethje got knocked out by Max, and now Max gets knocked out by Ilia.
But think about it, man. After they won the BMF belt, they fought for a fucking title. Masvidal fought for a title against the best guy. Now Max fought for only the Dustin against Justin fight is different. But it's like, the thing is, like, they cannot combine these 2 belts because listen, if you have, for example, a pay-per-view, I'm just saying in April, and they cannot find a main event with a championship fight, they put on the BMF belt again. So they cannot do that. Yeah.
Extra. Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right. Do you like the Dan Hooker fight though, Max and Hooker?
I'm good with it. If you're happy with it, dude, I'm happy with it. So I'm good.
I'm happy with any of these fights. Let's be honest. If he fights Dustin again, I'm fine with it. I just think that I'd rather see a new fight. That's all. You know. Hey Tristan, what's up? Yeah, it was sick. It was an all-time class. It was a great card. Tristan thinks Pereira's number one. It's fair. Apparently, judges scored it. Yeah, they had two of them had it up to nothing. Hey Marcus, what's up? He's no interest in Volk and Topuria. I mean, they're doing it, but yeah, I'd rather see Lopez. I'm with you. These guys agree. Bircha, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, dude. Yeah, we answered that. The journalist was sucking up to Max. Yeah, they were sucking up to Max too. They all clapped for him at the end. They're all clapping for Khamzat. Like, what do you think about the clapping of these guys?
Weird. Just weird.
You know, with Max, like, I get it because he's like such a love guy, but at the same time, like, they're acting like he's fucking dead, like, or something. Like, even he said, he's like, guys, this isn't a funeral. Like, what are you doing? It was just beyond weird. I thought it was very odd. Like, they don't do. Maybe, you know what? I'll say this. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe it's a little different over there. You know, I'll say that. Maybe that's the difference because they wouldn't do that in Vegas. I don't think.
No.
Or maybe they would. I know you hate it though when they clap for these guys. I know you fucking hate it yourself.
I mean, we give these guys all respect. You know, you can clap for them when they're in the cage, but why in front of them? You know, it's more like you want to show them how much you love them or something.
What do you think when they call the guy's brother? Like, hey brother, what do you think they call the fighters that? You like that or no? It's a little odd. I don't think these fighters care about you guys. I'm just being honest. Like, all right. Hype, what's up, man? Cayman Rider, what's up, man? DDP's in real trouble. Oh, we'll talk about DDP and Honda in a sec. We end up with Lopez Evloev. I mean, no, because the timing won't work out. Like, oh, you're saying he could fight the winner of Sterling and Evloev? Okay, maybe. It just depends if the timing works out, but possibly. They could even do that as like the co-main event on that card. But really, it's just fucked because they just announced the Sydney card for February. Volk was at the press conference doing it, but the timing's weird now.
The UFC does it really annoying, you know. They're going to a certain place and then they have to fill out the fighters, and then they just have to hope they are available for that place, you know.
They'll probably put Izzy in the main event, I would think. Like, why wouldn't they use Izzy again? They have to use him as the main event.
I think they use DDP, man.
In Sydney?
Yeah, against Sean Strickland. That's what I think they're gonna do.
Yeah, but all right, maybe. But I just think like Izzy, I know he lost twice, but he's still a legend. You know?
I don't need to see Izzy in the main event pay-per-view, dude. He can fight the Fight Night pay-per-view, or he can be on the main card, but he doesn't need to be in the main event.
On a Fight Night, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be in the main event.
He'll probably be a co-main event 5-round.
Yeah, that's okay. Put him against Caio.
Is he fighting Caio or Imavov? What are you hearing?
I hope Caio.
Why is he watching Imavov's tape then?
I don't know, man. I watched Sabit Magomedov tape like yesterday. I'm not fighting him, so I don't know.
We'll talk about him too. Zach, what's up, man? It is all error based. I agree. Like you could say like that. You know, the early 2010s was all Aldo, and now then it was Max, and then Volk, and now it's Topuria. Yep. Crazy Topuria and Evloev. Yeah, that's true. They were supposed to fight, and it didn't happen, right? Who pulled out? Do you remember that? Who got injured?
I have no idea anymore. That's long time ago, dude.
Yeah. Topuria should be higher than Islam. You know why? I don't think it's a hot take. I was thinking about this today. Like, I still think it's probably Islam and Pereira, but I mean, he's right there. And also John Jones, like, again, he's not fighting that often. And we'll talk about John in a couple of weeks. He's going to fight Stipe finally. But, yeah. I don't know what Ilia's back to knockouts. What John Jones. Well, you're saying back like of all time? Yeah, it's tough because I think Jones, his run of the 4 title fights in 2011, I want to say, or 2000. Was it 11 or 12, whatever it was, when he fought? I know they're old now, and everyone's like, oh, they're washed up, but at the time they were legends, like Shogun, Rashad, Machida, and Rampage. He beat them 4 times in a row, and he also beat Ryan Bader in that time too, who turned out to be a great fighter. Like that run was amazing, and also like Gus and Sun. And dude, the run was amazing. But again, this was like over 10 years ago. You know, Jones doesn't fight like at all anymore, guys. You know,
amazing. Yeah.
Also, Ilia, yeah. John Silva and Ilia. Yeah, John Silva's pretty far away, I would say. But I love rough. You know, I love John Silva. Topuria Evloev in Spain. Yeah, they're gonna do Vulcan. Topuria. Do you think they'll do like the Real Madrid Stadium? Do you think they can do that? Like 90,000 people? Because he's fucking massive right now.
Bro, if they can do it, it will be sold out within 5 minutes.
Why would they not do it? Why would they go to like a 20,000?
Because Dana's is annoying. The problem is like I think Dana is like really like he wants to have the control about everything, you know. And in the stadium, it's bigger. He doesn't oversee it, maybe, you know. And it's
well, he
and
said
he's
it's
like,
because of like elements like weather and like bugs and stuff, and he's like, I don't want that interfering with the fights. I get
bro,
that kind of.
it's where the stadium of Real Madrid is renovated. It's like you can close the
You
how do you
close
say
the
that,
roof?
the roof? Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps. I'll say that. Max said international. He did say that. That's why, like, you know, if Dustin's going to take time off, then that makes sense. I think Hooker probably wants to fight before then, but we'll see. Corey Gonzalez his arm declined. Is that true?
Yeah, of course, because he fought at 300 against Oliveira, and he said like it's a rematch. If I lose and go on short notice, I'm not gonna get my third fight, you know. So
Yeah,
I'm fully
a
with
good
him.
point. Usman beat Masvidal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. End of the eras. What do you think of Bilal, lineal PMF champ? Yeah. We'll talk about Khamzat in a sec. Where's Makhachev Tsaryukin? Yeah, that fight's with January, Los Angeles. Is that the rumor?
Yeah, it's probably going to be on January 18, UFC 3011 in the Intwit Arena.
Into a dome.
Dome,
Yeah. I know this is a little off topic, but since we're talking about that card, is there any chance Weili Zhang could fight Verna on that card?
I don't know what the status is with Weili Zhang, man. I know Verna wants it, but I mean,
what happened to Tatiana? Do you know?
Nobody knows, dude. And
Why is no one talking about this? This is really weird to me.
The funny thing is, like, she's out, you know.
Yeah.
I know she's out, you know, but she is like, guys, I'm not injured. It's like, yeah, but it's not declaring why you're out, you know. And she doesn't she doesn't owe us anything, you know. But I'm like, if you go to Twitter and saying like, I'm not injured, what are you talking about? Then just say what's up, you know.
Yeah, and the other thing, I don't know, Patchy Mix was at like that grappling tournament.
Yeah, with her.
MMA Junkie interviewed him and didn't even ask him about this. What is it off limits to ask the guy now? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's the most important question, honestly. With that,
listen, I would have asked, and if he said like it's something personal, I cannot talk about it, I would respect it, you know.
Yeah,
but at least ask.
They didn't ask, so I don't know. I mean, he might have said, "Hey guys, I don't want you asking about this," but it's your job too to ask that question because I think that's what fans. I actually watched that just because not that I don't care about Patchy Mix, he's a really good fighter, but I mean, listen, him and Tatiana, they're going to go around the events together, hold hands, and they're going to show them on screen together. Then they're a couple, and you're going to ask about each other. Like, I think it's fair game. I think it's fair game to ask. I do. Think
I agree with you, man. I agree.
Yeah, you're not going to just ask about, well, Patchy's the champion now. What about when things go bad? Because to me, it's just really odd that she's coming. I'm not injured, but the fight's off, and we don't have that fight now, which was, I think, a number one contender fight. So, anyway, that's another topic, guys. Aldo was supposed to fight Topuria's debut. I don't think so. I don't.
No, Topuria replaced somebody who Zalal was supposed to fight. I don't know who it was again.
Do you guys think a prime could? Oh, Zabit's another guy that kind of like one of those what if guys. And everyone just kind of shits on because he had that fight with Calvin Kattar where he slowed down in round 3, but he still won. And didn't he retire undefeated? Or he lost once maybe in Russia or something. Zabit.
I think he lost once in Russia, but I can be wrong. You should look it up if you want.
I'm gonna check right now. I think he lost like once, but I'm gonna double check. He's only 33 too. Like, I'm not saying that's super young, but it's not old. Yeah, he lost once, 18-1, and he retired. He was 6-0 in the UFC. Retired 5 years ago. Wow.
So his debut. So his debut live in Rotterdam, man. I wasn't there as a media, so I was just as a fan back then, you know, and. I went to him. I talked a little bit to him, but he could barely talk any English, so it was like very short. And but it's crazy, man. Pretty much nobody knew who he was. Like there were a lot of fighters in the hotel. Everybody went to them, and nobody went to him. And when I saw him, I immediately went to him, man. I was a big fan back then. I was watching ACA all the time, so you know.
Yeah. So also supposed to play Song Choi with Ilia stepping short. Blake, what's up, man? Glad to have you here, my brother. See, I can call him my brother because Blake's my guy, but he's not a fighter. You guys think Skinny John, when 2027, beat this version of Alex? Maybe. I mean, that version of John is the GOAT. That prime John Jones is the best fighter of all time.
That version of John takes Alex down anytime.
That version of John Jones and a guy I forgot beat Vitor Belfort. The TRT Vitor was, I think, the best fighter of all time.
That's armbar, dude.
Yeah, dude, I was there. He did snap his arm, but he fought through it. Like he said, he heard it like the capsule snap, and he kept fighting. But yeah, the Vitor that knocked out Dan Henderson, Bisping, and Rockhold, that like roided up Vitor was amazing, dude.
I also love the old Vitor at the old days, you know, with the beginning of the UFC.
Wanderlei,
yeah, Scott Ferrozo, remember that?
Yeah, of course, I remember, dude. He had some.
Thank Abbott.
He was not natural. I'll just say that, but yeah, Vitor was a legend. He should be in the Hall of Fame too. I mean, I don't know what his status is with Dana White, but he's not in the Hall of Fame, is he? Vitor? He should be.
I agree.
He should probably be next, to be honest with you. You guys notice how hard they're trying to promote Jones? Yeah, because they really want to sell this card, this fight.
It's like the battle of the behemoths.
Yeah, when they showed that thing, like for like all the stats and all the records and stuff.
I'll
tell you this right now, too. Like, I just looked at the odds the other day. Dude, Jones is like minus 700 now. Like, Stipe's plus 500, Marcel. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Yeah.
Why they go with the battle of the behemoths? Because PFL went with the battle of the giants. They are like, oh, we have to also get a funny name to it, And yeah, it's crazy, but let's be really honest, man. Who's gonna pick Stipe, man? Not many people, The
guy who's doing the podcast with it, Sports Interaction, is picking Stipe because of the value. He's just saying a plus 5, like whatever he's plus 475 right now or something like that. Like,
yeah, but if there was, let's put
there's no odds. Yeah, I know.
No,
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But at the same time, like, the math is saying that he has a better chance than the odds are saying. I get what the guy's saying. Yeah. No, okay. You got Remove Limit Break in the chat too. Thanks, man. Glad to have you here, dude. Stipe is like 42, I think, so he's a little bit older. Vito was amazing. Ubering was great too. Beercha, I'm not the one saying it. Beercha, you are. I'm not going to read it, but possible. They're not saying anything. It's possible. She's a woman. It happens. It happens, Marcel. That's how people are. That's how you were created. Your mom and dad, had a little bit to do.
Yeah, I mean these days you never know, But back in the day, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of wine, Marcel, with Mr. and Mrs. Dorf, and yeah. Any truth to what Blade said? Steve is walking away the limp and injured. I don't know. I mean, I really have no idea. Like, he is an older guy. Is he still firefighting? I guess he would be, right?
I think so. There are still fires. I think so. Yeah. I mean,
you're a joker. All right, we're 30 minutes in. We only broke down one fight. My God. All right, let's go to the next fight. Khamzat Chimaev defeats Robert Whittaker. First round, rear naked choke. They're saying rear naked choke, but it's a face crank. And yeah, I will be honest with you. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I had no idea what happened.
Same.
I was like, wow, he tapped really fast. That was not much of a fight. And then obviously now we know that his jaw got like smashed and his teeth were all fucked up. So now he came out, Whittaker. He did an interview. You saw it, Marcel, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I saw it.
And his teeth were all fucked up. And he said they got screwed up against Dracus, he said? Or
yeah, he said they were a little bit loose.
Yeah, so his teeth are all messed up. So it was kind of like a previous injury that was basically his teeth got crushed by that crank. I mean, it shows you how hard Khamzat squeezes.
This piece was crushed. He said like his jaw wasn't broken, but just his teeth were smashed in.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, he didn't sound great. His speech is a little screwed up right now. Yeah, I mean, listen, we got this wrong. I don't regret picking Whittaker though. And if this fight again, if it goes past, and we all knew that the first round he could get finished.
Of course, we said that.
Yeah, but we thought, hey, if he survives, and what happens if it goes late? And it didn't. So Khamzat wins. Khamzat wins another fight.
Good win.
Yeah, a huge win, and he's 8-0 now in the UFC with 6 finishes. So he's like Topuria. They're both 8-0 with 6 finishes each. Incredible. Another bonus, obviously well deserved. The UFC, I'll give them credit. They did give out one extra bonus, although they did put it in their back pocket last week, Marcel.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, oh yeah, we gave an extra bonus, but yeah, you didn't give one last week.
And he couldn't give one to Aslan extra. He's like, we'll give him
a little bit. We're not giving him 50 grand though. Like, come on. He even said that, Marcel? Like, they couldn't have kicked him 50 grand. Come on, he had a great win. Anyways, Khamzat's great, and it was the first time I picked against him, so it is what it is. I don't regret it. Now the question is, does he surpass Strickland to fight Dracus? What do you think?
I think he should, but I don't think he will. Because there are already talks, what I'm hearing about DDP against Strickland. So the thing is and that's why Sean also said afterwards on Twitter, watch your turn, you can go after. So I think he should. It's an amazing win, it's a really big win. I mean, nobody did this to Robert Whittaker the way he did it, and I know Adesanya knocked him out, and I know DDP knocked him out, but this was so dominant from he shoot after 10 seconds, and Whittaker never had any rest anymore, great win. I hope Khamzat stays healthy, because that has been an issue with him over the past few years.
At 185, I think he'll be better, healthier.
Yeah, and apparently There were talks that he couldn't fight in the US, and then there were talks that he could fight actually in the US. We'll see, man. So, but he should be next. But I think they give it to Strickland. I don't mind, to be honest. They promised the title shot to Strickland. Dana pretty much said Strickland was next, so they should stay with that. And listen, Khamzat can fight the winner of DDP against Strickland. I'm cool
he
with
can
that.
take a little bit. I mean, he only fights once a year anyway, so.
Yeah.
Is he really going to rush back? And like you said, they're probably going to do it in February. So he probably won't. I mean, honestly, he won't be ready. He could because he didn't take any damage in this fight. But yeah, it was an incredible win. I mean, it really is a quality win. And for Whittaker, I mean, he's going to be out for a while, and I imagine with that facial injury. Go ahead.
That doesn't matter, Tristan, by the way, that he already fought there. You can. It's not like if you fight there once, you will be able to fight.
Yeah. By the way, Whittaker's in a weird spot now because he's lost to 3 champions in the weight class. I guess he could fight the loser of Drakus and Strickland. He could, potentially. They could always do a trilogy with Izzy. I guess he becomes almost a gatekeeper, Marcel, where he fights these guys like,
I think if you ask me, listen, Adesanya, in my opinion, should fight Borralho. I would put Whittaker against Imavov now.
All right, they could do that. Yeah. Or they could do him and Fluffy. But Fluffy probably does the same thing.
Yeah. No, I would do Fluffy against Brandon Allen.
Yeah, I don't mind that. The rematch, right?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, would you pick Pereira or Khamzat at 205? Pereira. I'm not sold on Khamzat at 205.
Only the problem is, like, can Pereira prevent the takedown against Khamzat? Because it's a good question. I know it's a weight class up, but Khamzat is strong, man. So I don't know, man. It's actually a really good question. I would say Pereira, but man, I mean, maybe, you never know.
Yeah, a couple other comments. You guys hear Dana Nagano. Honestly, I don't want to talk about this. I think this whole thing with him and it's weird. And the media keeps stirring it up too. They keep asking about him. Nagano, shut the fuck up. Stop asking about him. And it's annoying. I don't care. He's a PFL fighter now. And him and Dana don't like each other, but fuck off. Stop asking about him. And this is a guy that literally his son died like earlier this year. Like, leave the guy alone now. I don't need to hear Dana bashing Francis. Like, it just bothers me, Marcel. I'm gonna be honest with you. We were gonna cut him. I was gonna cut him, but someone talked me out of it. Yeah, and then he became champion.
But yeah, it's also like a bad look on you that you're now saying that you want to cut him, and then he fucking got the title again, or got the title, and then you're like, he beat
Cyril God, who they were saying was going to beat John Jones, right?
And he's like, John Jones better stays at 205.
Because who they're saying is, the GOAT.
But he also said that John Jones better stay at 205 because he shouldn't want to fight him.
I never said that. He's always changing his mind. Listen, I don't even blame Dana about this, though. He's a promoter. I just don't want the media asking about Francis anymore. It's really annoying. It's really stupid. He's not in the UFC. He's not coming back to the UFC. He's not fighting John Jones. He's in PFL. Go ask Don Davis about him. Ask him who he's going to fight next. No one asked Don Davis. Who's he going to fight next? They're going to bring Fedor in retirement to fight him? Ryan Bader? Like, I don't know who they're going to fight him next.
The whole presser after 308 was a shit show, in my opinion. Yeah, I see that.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. You know what? There was one girl. I don't know who she is, but she was asking really good questions.
It probably Farah?
No, it wasn't Farah. It was someone else. No? There was another girl there. It was like Euro Star or something, or I think she was. She asked some really good questions, and I got to give her credit because I don't know who she was. I mean, Farah was there too, and she asked pretty good questions. But I think the other girl actually did a really good job. She's not a full-time UFC journalist, and she asked really good questions. So I got to give her credit. Stevie became a full-time fighter. Okay. I don't watch Ariel's show, so thank you for telling me that. I really don't know.
Adam, can I ask you one quick question?
You can ask me anything.
When do you think the UFC will go to Spain? Because they didn't ask that in the presser.
They didn't ask a lot of questions. I would guess it would be like, I don't know when that stadium is available, right? Like, I guess whenever it's Real Madrid, right? That's who plays there.
Yeah.
Wherever they're not playing, I don't know what their schedule's like. They'll have to, like, that's the problem, they said, with the schedule. Come on, they're going to make room for Topuria. They're going to do it. I would say like May or June next year or something like that, maybe.
They can do after the summer. After when there is like a summer stop or whatever they call it,
They'll probably do before the summer, I think, but I don't know. Whittaker will never be champ again. Probably not. That speech was great. When was the first time you guys heard of Hamza? I'll be honest, when he signed with the UFC, and I watched his tape, and there was the one fight where he submitted the guy with the rear naked choke and spit his mouth guard out. That was fucking awesome, and I knew he was special then. So I've always liked him. And then obviously he demolish those 3 guys on Fight Island. It was great.
I watched him in Brave, man, and he was supposed to fight for a title, but that was COVID and it didn't happen.
You know what fight I'm talking about though, where he submits the guy and he's like spits his mouth crazy, like it's pretty cool.
I don't remember anymore. I remember it, but I don't know what fight it is anymore.
Yep. Chris, did Khamzat go less hard compared to Usman? I think he was pacing himself. It looked like he was. I don't think he expected that face crank to finish the fight. Do you?
No.
Yeah, he was trying to like wrestle him to get to that position to submit him.
He also said I didn't want to break his teeth. I just wanted to win, he said afterwards.
He wants to break someone's teeth.
Yeah.
Even when Glover knocked out Anthony Smith's teeth in that fight, he said, he's like, sorry. Remember that?
Yeah, definitely. I remember that. Yeah, there was a big win for
Listen, these guys, they hate each other, like whatever. It's their job. They don't want people not to be able to go home to their family after. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whittaker is sadly no man's land. Yeah, he pretty much is. Khamzat after Ramadan. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. They'll probably do the one title fight and then, he'll get the winner of that. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of questions. I'm trying to get through them all. Whittaker versus Nickel. Maybe. I mean, Bo Nickel's he's in a good spot right now, I would say, if he beats Craig. Fan of DDP, want him to win.
Who?
Bo Nickel.
Against?
Craig. Whittaker, if he beats Craig. No, I said no.
Nickel, I want you to say it correctly. Bo Nickel against?
Oh, Paul Craig. There we go.
Thank you.
My bad. I'm just saying he'll probably get a top 15 fight if he wins that. Fan of DP, but if you watch his past fight, takedown defense. Yeah. I mean, Khamzat probably takes him down, but again, it's the same question. Like, what happens if the fight gets extended with the DDP? Because DDP, he's breathing through his mouth. He looks gassed, and he fucking finishes you late every time. Like against Izzy, I'm like, oh, this fight's over. This is done. And then all of a sudden he submitted him. Remember Marcel? So some Georgian journalist. She was good. I don't know who she is, but she was asking really good questions, Marcel. Have you listened to it again?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I don't know her name. Georgian media. Yeah, she did a good job. Topuria's wife should have got $50K bonus. Dude, he's living life large right now, eh, Marcel? Topuria? Go ahead. Sorry.
He got a lot of sponsors, man, in Spain. So, he's like, big time.
Who's your prediction for Connor's next opponent? I think Gaethje. Probably, I don't know. I mean, they were saying I don't think Connor fights again. Stop asking about him. Not that I blame you, but yeah, I mean. Khamzat, Bahio, Khamzat would be favored. I would imagine he'd be favored. Even though I think Bahio's great, I think Khamzat would be probably like minus 300 or something. Do you guys think DDP makes it around one? I don't know. I mean, we thought Whittaker could, and he didn't. So it's tough. Like, I'll ask you a question. Who do you think gave Khamzat his toughest fight? Was it Burns or Usman? Who do you think?
Burns and Usman. They both give.
Why was maybe majority decision again? I'm trying to remember. Like, what was it? Was it?
And I think somebody gave it 10-8 round, and they gave 2-10.
To Usman. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah,
it was a competitive fight. All right, let's go through some other fights, guys. Mago Goat and Ankalaev defeats Alexander Rakic. I don't think it was a great fight. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't super impressed by this fight, but at the same time, you can't deny the guy the title shot. Like, you just can't do it. It's a sport. If you're gonna say it's a real sport, you know what I mean, Marcel? He won the fight. I think the first round was close. All 3 judges went to Rakic. I think you had a 30-27. I could have seen it either way. He definitely won the second and third round. Rakic's corner should be fired. He should get rid of these bums, telling him that he won the first 2 rounds and just relax. Terrible advice. You never tell an MMA fighter in a 3-round fight that you won the first 2 rounds. He should have said, listen, hey, man, it's close. You got to go out there and finish him. That's what I would have said. It's a close fight. We don't know what the judges are going to say, dude. Like, telling him, oh, yeah, you're up. Terrible advice, Marcel. And, it turns out it was tied. If Rakic won the 3rd round, which was close, but Ankalaev won, it would have been Rakic's win, but he still lost. So go ahead.
Yeah, I scored all 3 rounds 10-8 for Ankalaev. No, I'm just kidding. I scored the first round 10-9 for Rakic, actually, and I gave second and third round to Ankalaev.
There were a lot of kicks, right? Like good kicks.
Yeah, I had 29-28. But the thing is, Rakic, listen, you can counter strike, but you also can keep running. And Rakic at certain moment was just running away, Yeah. So it was also tough to make that a fight for Ankalaev, if he has to keep running after Rakic. I was just surprised with that Dana was so positive on on the press, and that he was like, was it impressive? Yeah, it was impressive enough. I was like, okay, I didn't expect it. I was like, he's going to find some loophole to give it to Volkan Ozdemir or Carlos Alberg winner, But he actually said on camera that Ankalaev was next for Pereira. So Dana lies a lot, but he has to keep his promise here. I think. Why wouldn't you give it to? Listen, there is no reason you can give it to Roundtree and not to Ankalaev, in my opinion. Ankalaev is next. We will see that fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be a fun fight. I know a lot of people think that Pereira will walk through him. I don't know about that, dude. The thing is, like, Ankalaev is super tough. Of course, Pereira, amazing striking. I'm looking forward to that fight, man. And I'm so surprised that there are people like Ankalaev doesn't deserve it. I'm like, you're either fucking scared of the guy that he beats Pereira, but I would be like, if you think he don't deserve it and he's not on Pereira's level and you're a Pereira fan, why do you want to see that fight? You want to see him get knocked out, right? You have trust in your guy, then you want to see that fight. So give us that fight,
One thing I'll say is Dana answered the question in a very interesting way to me, because he said, yeah, this is next for Ankalaev, but he didn't say it's next for Pereira. I think they're waiting to see what happens with this fight with Jones and Stipe, and they might do that Pereira and Tom Aspinall fight. And the reason I'm saying that is because they can still do that fight, and even if he loses to Aspinall, they can still do him and Ankalaev. So it wouldn't shock me, Marcel, because it's a different weight class. Could you see that happening?
Of course they will, probably,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're on great too.
But I still think listen, man, if Gane wins against Volkov, if Volkov wins against Gane, they're not going to give him Aspinall. But if Gane wins against Volkov and Aspinall will be crowned the undisputed champion after Jones Miocic, they're going to do, I think, Gane against Aspinall. That's what I think.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of moving parts still. And as Dana says, they don't talk about it till Tuesday in match.
Yeah.
Right, Marcel? So I think Ankalaev. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, he's like, we never do matchmaking until Tuesday. Remember when Ankalaev fought Blachowicz, he had like Jamal Hill against Glover Teixeira right after the presser,
He was pissed about that fight. He's still angry about it 3 years later. Or was it 2 years or 3 years? I can't remember. 2 years.
2 years.
Ankalaev will get the title shot next. Now, how does the fight go? I think he wrestles him, though. I think, he had to do what he had to do in this fight and not wrestle, because Dana's like, you have to be impressive. If he wrestled Rakic, I think then Dana would have said, like, no, we're going with the winner of Alberg and Ozdemir or something. Or the winner of Krylov and Murzakanov. I would imagine the winners of those two fights. Or, you know what? This isn't what I wanted to see. We're going to give Khalil Roundtree a rematch. I was waiting for him to say that, to be honest.
Listen, everybody who thinks Khalil Roundtree should get a rematch is just plain out retarded.
No,
I'm sorry to say.
No. I tweeted it, but it's a joke. I was joking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But there are really people who think he should, but you're stupid if you think that you think. But you're not stupid. I don't say you. I'm just talking in general. No, I'm not talking to you.
What do you think happens for Ankalaev? I think Ankalaev was favored, but I feel like the odds are going to be closer after this last fight, because I don't think it was his best performance. I don't know. I would have favored Ankalaev before this fight. I don't want to change my mind too much, but maybe Pereira is I favor him now. I don't know. It's hard to say. I know you favor Ankalaev. I don't have to ask you.
I can see this fight go many ways, and I think like a lot of people are like, yeah, but he's definitely gonna wrestle fuck him. I was like, when did Ankalaev wrestle fuck a fighter? This last time he really wrestled was Blachowicz. Yeah, but it was because his legs were pretty much gone, But he also prefers to strike normally.
And Paul Craig, when he got submitted, that was pretty much the fights where he wrestled. Right?
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because he was fucking winning that fight by 30-24 or something, It's like, and that fight set him back 2 years in the UFC.
We talked about that. It's crazy. Like, when you lose in the UFC, it really sets you back a long time.
Yeah.
Unless you got the Dana White privilege. All right. Lerone Murphy defeats Dan Ige. Unanimous decision. Really good fight, I thought, too. Ige, great first round, knocks him down. Lerone survives, wins second and third round. Yeah, I think the judging was 100% right on in this fight. I'm surprised there's a few media outlets that were the well-respected media outlets gave this to Ige. It shocked me. I don't see how he won the fight. It was an easy fight to score. Ige round 1, 10-9, round 2 and 3 for Lerone. It was a solid winning call out. Josh Emmett, solid call out. Go ahead.
No, great call out, by the way.
Perfect.
Always refreshing when a fighter actually does a good call out. third round, I thought third round was close, man. But I had it also for Murphy. I gave him
It was
2 and
close,
3.
but I think he got away with it in the last, or he like ran away with it in the last minute, I should say.
Bro,
he got that reversal and did more damage. Dan,
I agree.
I was surprised Dan was like tired. Like he got tired in this fight, which he never does.
I mean, he could have finished that man in the first round, maybe. Maybe he should have done it, you know?
He could have. Third round, Marcel, 16-3 in significant strikes. Yeah. Now, he had more control time, so. But again, the damage was all on the road, and I think the judges got it right.
I enjoyed the fight, man. It was a good fight.
It was a good fight, and he calls it Emmett, which is a perfect call-out.
Yeah.
And I think they should do this fight next if Emmett's available and he wants to fight. I know he said he put that yawning emoji or something. But I don't mind this fight. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a hard fight too. I think Josh Emmett's very good. I think people underrate Josh Emmett. Marcel, he went 5 rounds with Ilia.
I just wanted to say that.
Dude, it looks better now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, man. It does.
Especially and Yusuf Zalal too, going 3 rounds, right? And surviving. We'll talk about him. Yusuf's on the next card. The one that one's fine, but I mean, he called it Emmett, so why would they not give him Emmett if he's available? It just makes sense.
I agree.
Leon Edwards of featherweight, yeah, similar, very similar.
At the same time,
Daniel. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
At the same time, if you do a fight night in England, which they won't do, then it would be fun to do Lerone against Arnold Allen, you know. But they won't do that.
I don't mind it. I think that's a good fight too. Like any of those fights make sense. You know, even Yair was he was around as a guest fighter this week. They can always do him. He's the guy that doesn't get talked about. Yair's great though. So, and the guy that we don't talk about at all anymore. You know, in all these fights, no one's talking about Brian Ortega. Like, what division is he going to now? Is he good?
I think he goes to 55. Yeah, I think he said it as well. So
he's another option, but he's an option for a guy like Dan Hooker. He's an option for Macano, the rematch. They could always do that. Really had a lot of respect for Emmett's power. Dude, Emmett, like, basically, Bryce Mitchell, he hasn't fought since that fight, right? Both guys haven't, right? Dude, that was like a career-ending knockout potentially. I mean, I'm sure Bryce will fight again, but he's not the same. He'll never be the same after that. That was the scariest knockout of the year last year, wasn't it? I think it was knockout of the year, right?
I had to fucking remove a part of the clip for where I work for.
What is it, skipping up or whatever?
Yeah, I had to remove that.
Dude, it was scary knockout. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Sharabullah Magomedov, double spinning back fist knockout. Never seen this before over Armin Petrosian. All 3 judges had first round for Shara. I know you disagree with that. It was close. But the second round, another competitive round, Sharabullah was kind of pulling away though. And then he gets a crazy knockout, which I know you're not a huge fan of this guy, but that knockout was fucking sick.
It was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and he got a bonus for it, which he deserved.
Adam, the thing is, like, we were talking to it in the Discord, and a lot of people had a 10-9 first round for Petrosian. There were also people who had it for Shara.
It was close.
But, like, every guy I talked to and every fighter I talked to who were in the arena at the time, they all had it for Shara. So, that the judges all had it for Shara in the first round, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I think he did very well, man. I mean, was a fun fight. I think it was pretty competitive, but Shara walked away with it. A good win for him, man. Good for him. I mean, but now they really have to give him like a more complete fighter, not just like a striker. You know. Adam is frozen. I don't know what's happening. Adam, are you still there? So Adam is apparently jerking off right now, guys. So I'll continue with the questions. Let me see what you guys have here. Crazy Pado as Lerone Murphy is the Leon Edwards of the featherweight, same fighting style, same body type.
I dropped. Sorry, I dropped out for a second. I'm back. My bad. Was it me or you that it was who was talking? You were talking. Sorry.
I was talking. Yeah, I was going through the questions. I said you were jerking.
My apologies, guys. Did you answer Cole's question though? I did want to get.
No, I wasn't there yet. But go ahead.
Yeah. Let's get his question. Sorry, checking in late. No worries, Cole. Has Marcel's opinion on Ankalaev prayer changed after seeing the fact Ankalaev doesn't wrestle and can't check a calf kick? That's a good comment, Cole. Did it change?
I mean, cool. I think I answered your question last night in the Discord, and I said bullshit. No, I was just kidding there. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, listen, if he strikes with Pereira, he lets himself open, so it would be a big risk, you know. But I think we have to see the fight. I just want to see the fucking fight, you know. And if Pereira knocks him out, everybody can come at me. I'm cool with that. But I mean, I think Ankalaev can beat him, and I even think Ankalaev can stop him. You know, and not with the flash knockout or anything, but I think he can stop him. So
I mean, he's definitely a good fighter. Do you
Yeah.
think Sherrup's prime at 30? Probably. He looks like really good right now. Sherrup Pereira, I think that fight is good. I have no problem with that fight. Couldn't stop gooning long enough to get good streaming. I know, right? Jeez, we're having a lot of fun here. We're almost went an hour, so yeah, I don't know what happened. It just dropped over. Zach, apologies for that. Yeah, he hit me with the double spinning backflip, Zach. That's what happened. So who's fought better, guys? Bo or Shara? I mean, no doubt, right? Bo Nichols fought like really trash competition. I hate to say it, but the guys are like, who's the Val Woodburn? That's his last win, isn't it? Is that his last win, or am I forgetting one?
No, Brundage, Cody Brundage.
I mean, dude, he's not much. I know he's your guy, but he's not that good. I think that Petrosian, I think, is a good win. I think it's a quality win. I think it's his best win, right? Petrosian.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely.
Armin's a good fighter. I mean, he's solid. So there was a great win, I think, if anything. And the fact he knocked him with a double spinning backwards, which I've never seen, Marcel. Never seen. I know
you can't even do that on EA UFC, man. I mean,
they're gonna have to add that in.
Yeah,
Can Sherrod could be in the States? Some of the states allow him, but they'll probably fight him as much in Abu Dhabi and these other places as they can. Sharon Pereira after he walked. Oh yeah, what's up, Anakin? All right, let's go to the next fight here. Oh wow, what a knockout! I was wrong about this one, so I picked Sakura, which I mean, yeah, that went up in flames. I'll give you credit, Marcel. You picked Aslan, and I mean, Jesus, this was crazy. Dude was just frozen against the fence, man. Throw it frozen, Zach. I mean, let it go, right? With Sakura, he just got stuck against the fence. Austin landed 28 strikes in 51 seconds. That was amazing. I mean, there was an incredible knockout, incredible finish. Good stoppage, too. Like the ref, who was it? Mark Goddard? Yeah. I mean, it was a good stoppage. You saved the guy. But I think, if anything, actually, they could have stopped it sooner. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on the guy yet. I think that, the two guys he's beaten are great, Turkai and this guy, even though I was hyping the guy up a bit because he did look good on tape, in my opinion. But, yeah, it was an amazing knockout. And he did have Gokhan Saki in his corner, too. Which is cool.
Man, I mean, I'm not going to shit on you for the pick because I shit on you like 24/7 already. So,
God.
But no, I'm just kidding. Man, listen, I was so surprised that you picked Sakura here, man.
I thought he looked good on the tape I saw. But again, he is 34 years old. Making his debut was not a great pick. It wasn't. I mean,
That's what
it's crazy. The line actually flipped. He was the favorite at the end, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Listen, man, I was really happy for this fight because I had to take a heavy shit and I couldn't get it done because there was so much to do. And then this fight was pretty quick, so I had like 20-25 minutes within the prelims to the main card. So
funny, dude.
Perfect.
You're a funny guy.
So
yeah, Marcel, the closing odds, Aslan was the underdog at even money. So it flipped. So it wasn't just me. With Sakura. I thought he looked good again the tape, but again, he didn't have any UFC fights, and I should have been a little more careful. But yeah, Aslan, they've never did a UFC Turkey. This would be the guy to bring, right? Did they do Turkey? And they could probably bring Gokhan Saki out of retirement too, I would imagine. I know you're going to say, oh, don't do it, but they probably would, right? If they go to Turkey.
Listen, Turkey is a place they love fighting over there. So I know they're big fans of the MMA kickboxing and that kind of stuff. So they could definitely do it there, man. But yeah, Aslan, who would you match him up with, man? It's like 205. I think there is a lot of I mean, you have a lot of options in 205. I think why not match him up with Ion Kutelaba?
That's a fun fight. Actually, I like that fight. That's a good one. I like it. Or they could do Kennedy too, who fought in this card, right? Which we'll talk about in a sec. But I think Kennedy's a harder matchup.
And Kennedy's to 265 now. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. I shouldn't. I mean, he fought Chris Barnett, who shouldn't be at 265. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. Gokhan Saki, I don't know if he's under contract anymore, but he only lost to Roundtree in the UFC, which that was an amazing knockout, by the way. That was crazy. That was on the Stipe DC card. Huh?
I got so much shit in the Netherlands for picking Roundtree in that fight.
Did you pick him? I picked Saki. That was a bad pick. But anyways, yeah, I think if they go there, they'll bring this guy to retirement. I would imagine. But again, it's you never know. Alonzo Menefield, they could. He's ranked 15th, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think Alonzo's ranked. He shouldn't be, but he is ranked. Vatakov, they won't do that fight. They're gonna go on a different path with him.
Yeah.
Saki, is he Dutch? I guess he is Dutch, but I think that
definitely he speaks Dutch. He lives in the.
But doesn't he has an affiliation with Turkey or no?
Yeah, of course. He's Turkish. His parents are Turkish, and I
There you
think
go.
his parents are born there as well. But they came to the Netherlands, and he lived here for a long time. I don't think he's living right now in the Netherlands, but he speaks Netherlands. He speaks Dutch fluently. So yeah.
He speaks Netherlands.
Yeah. There's something you have to. When I was when I couldn't talk English when I was like
Still
7
can't.
or 8 years, when I was 6 or 7. Fuck you. When I was 6 or 7 years old, and we had the computer. You had like a video game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you had to set languages, And I was searching. I don't see Netherlands, and I see English, Deutsch, but it said Dutch, and Dutch was
Yeah.
Netherlands, obviously, but I didn't know. So I always picked Deutsch. I was like, there is no Netherlands in this. And my dad is like, dude, Dutch is Netherlands. I was like, oh, okay. But I was 7 or 8 years old, so I had no idea,
That's funny. All right, let's go back to the card. Jeff Neal defeats Javier Dos Anjos by first round injury. I mean, he was going to knock him out anyways. He dropped him, and the fight was going to not go very well for RDA. I don't know why they made this fight. This was bad matchmaking, in my opinion. And also, man, what a shitty way to have a 40th birthday, to get fucking finished like this.
And injured.
Like, RDA's career might be over, guys. I think it could be over. He's 40 years old. He's coming off 3 straight losses. Like, if he wants to fight again in a year from now, he'll probably get a fight, but I just don't think he's anywhere near a contender anymore.
Adam,
yeah.
I was so surprised with so many people picking RDA in this
Who
fight.
picked RDA? Why would
I saw
RDA?
a lot of people picking him, man, and I was like, wow. It's like, listen, I have so
That's
much
wild.
respect for RDA. He's a former champion. He's been a long time stay in the UFC, but he's just getting older and he's not getting better, So all respect to him. But I was pretty convinced with Jeff Neal, and you were as well. So
Jeff Neal was one of my most confident picks on the card.
Me too, mine too.
Love the matchup for him. Great takedown defense, and obviously his striking is ridiculous.
Good
and
bounce
again,
back.
He does have a win over Bilal. He has that win over Bilal, and that looks good now. And he even talked about it yesterday. Like, his path to the belt is probably a little quicker than other people. Who are we going to give Jeff Neal next? Who's his next fight?
Yeah. Okay. Let me think. What makes sense?
Well, Jeff Neal's ranked number 10. Joaquin Buckley's ranked number 9.
Yeah, give him Buckley. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Or Burns number 8. I mean, he'll probably get a fight above him.
Give me Buckley, not Burns.
Buckley too. I think it's a good fight. I think it makes sense.
Burns gonna fight him on the ground, probably. Burns.
I think Buckley Neal's a fun fight, man. That's a 5-round main event, if anything. I think. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Fight of the night, absolute war,
bro.
Wow.
Mateusz Rebecki deserves an apology from you, Adam.
So Mateusz Rebecki defeats Maktabek Orobai, split decision, which is ridiculous. I mean, clearly won the fight. That split decision is garbage. Like, come on, how do you give the third round to Orobai?
Impossible.
Crazy. Jacob Montalvo, who's a ref too, he's just not a good judge. I think he's a better ref than a judge. We've talked about that before.
We always say that. Yeah.
This guy needs to stop fucking judging. He needs to get back to the reffing. Okay, so I wrote him off after the fight with Diego. I did. The reason why is because he's not super young. He's in his he's 30 turning 32 next week, so not old, but not young either. And he looked like a guy that was going to gas out. Now in this fight, dude, he had the gas for 15, and he won the fight. So first round, just destroyed Orobai's eye, just fucking fucked it up really bad. And I think they should have stopped the fight. Personally, I think they should have, and they let him continue. And the second round, Orobai came back and he won, and it was crazy. Yeah. And I assumed at that point he was going to win because I'm like, okay, so Rebecki's going to gas. And then Rebecki drops him in the third round and wins the decision. Also got cut open. Bloody war. I mean, this is one of the best fights of the year, right? Like, this was an amazing fight. Go ahead.
Did you saw the doctor when it first or second round? He's like, how many fingers? Like, how many fingers? It's like 2. Yeah, he's good. I could see
that doctor just wanted to see violence that day. Where do you rank this as like fight of the year? Like, you think
it was an amazing? It's top 5, definitely, man. It was an amazing fight, man. I love the fight. It's only unfortunate that Rebecki got open because of the clash of heads, because that was not like
that. It was Vitor Ribeiro, Shaylin Ribeiro.
Oh yeah, the former fighter.
These fights go fast. Sometimes that can happen. Although you think that the replay would catch it quicker and tell them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but was an amazing fight, man. I enjoyed it so much. By the way, your apologies are accepted if you tattoo Rabisti here. Then we're
no.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I talk that was often because I fucking loved what he did in his first couple of fights, and I see a few of you guys in the chat saying great buy low spot. Fair enough. The odds were probably a little too lopsided, but I don't think Orolbai stock really drops that much. Personally,
No, it's a good fight.
I think it was a great fight, and now we're finding out that he had some serious visa issues. That's why the fight was moved to a catchweight on his side, 160. Which when it happened, man. By the way, the weigh-ins were beyond sketch this week. They were so. I know you were sleeping. I was sleeping because they were like whatever in the morning. I'm sending Marcel these voice notes. I'm like, dude, why are they extending the weigh-in? What's going on? Why is this a catchweight? Why is this fight a featherweight?
And it's like I got nothing back.
No one nothing back. I'm like, fuck, what the hell? But anyways, yeah, I mean, this fight was incredible, and like Rumbeski's stock is really high right now, and also Diego Ferreira's stock goes up too because he finished him too, right?
Yeah,
Diego Ferreira's probably the most underrated guy, lightweight, like I would say, right?
I agree, man. But I mean, listen, Orolbai, well, like you said, in my opinion, doesn't drop any stock. It's like this was a good fight, and Rebecca kind of like avenged himself for that last fight that looked really bad after the first round,
Yeah.
So yeah,
who are you gonna match up both guys with? Because I want to know who you think.
Oh man, so let me think. I would go with Orolbai, 155. Maybe I would do Dober against Orolbai. I like that fight. And I would do João Silva against Mateusz Rebecki.
Oh my god! Is João Silva moving to lightweight permanently then, or?
No, I'm not sure. Of course, it can be. He's also maybe at 145 still.
Bro, yeah. I mean, both those fights are fucking phenomenal.
Oh, the Roofy.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't have a fight. That'd be good.
Yeah,
too.
the Roofy.
You really can't go wrong, man. I mean, even what's the guy's Ludovic Klein would be a fun fight, I think, too. Unless he just wrestles him. That would be a fun one. I'm just looking at the rankings and stuff right now. Ignacio Bahamondes, that would be fun too, wouldn't it? That would be fun. Yeah. Any of these fights were fun. Any of them.
I mean, what is not fun in 155?
No, it's such a good division. These guys are. Yeah. I like both fighters a lot. I guess I'm back on the Rabeski train, man. How can you not be after this fight?
Chook.
Oh yeah, Ribovics too. That was a great fight too. Ribovics. That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, Ribovics is great as well. You
could do him and Ribovics, and then Orolbai and Zellhuber. They could do that. I don't mind that at all. 2 more fight of the years. All right, next fight. And by the way, I'm glad they got fight of the night because a lot of these prelims get. I didn't know if Dana watched the fight. I'll be honest. I'm always unsure if Dana watches prelims.
He did this time. Thank God.
He did.
He said he watched it. Yeah,
I know.
I'm sure. One thing for sure, Don Davis didn't watch it.
No, Don Davis doesn't like watching.
Did you see when he got asked by Mike? With Mike? Yeah, you saw it. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about it. It's
like, dude, just say a fucking fight.
You could have said anything. He could have said, "Oh yeah, Henry Fur and Francis." You'd be like, "Okay, whatever." But he says, "I don't watch MMA." Such a bad thing to say to MMA fans. Really bad.
Yeah.
All right. A couple more fights. We'll go through them really quick. Abus Magomedov defeats Bruno Ferreira. Good win for Abus. Second round was sketchy. Got hurt pretty bad by Ferreira. Comes back in the third, submits him. Nice win for him. And a guy that I still don't necessarily believe in, but he's skilled, right? He is skilled. He's well rounded, and it was a good win, right? So, any thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a good win for Abus, man. Normally, Abus kind of gasses, but Bruno Ferreira never went to a third round.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think Bruno Ferreira came back in the fight in the second round. I was like, maybe he's going to take over now, but Abus had that real good takedown, and after that, again, the takedown, and then he finished him. Good for him, man. I mean, Abus.
Good matchmaking here, I think. It was a perfect matchup.
I think they pushed Abus maybe a little bit too quick, with him
he
going
from
from
that too.
Strickland.
He said that he shouldn't have fought Strickland that fast in his career. I mean, for sure. Him and RoboCop would be fun, I think. Him and what's the guy? Jungyeon Park. That would be fun. That would be a good fight.
Him and Petrosian.
I mean, they're gonna give him someone off a win, I think, though. I think
maybe.
I wouldn't mind Ferrer and Petrosian. That's fun. That's a fun
What about him versus Nordiev? But
oh yeah, we'll talk about him in a second too. Sure. Kennedy Nchekwu defeats Chris Barnett. Injury stoppage first round, or I guess technically they said it's knee. And I mean, he did finish him, but Barnett got hurt. I don't know what to take about this fight. I mean, I really don't, because Kennedy looked good, but he fought a guy that is not in shape, dude. Like, this guy Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the UFC does with Chris Barnett. Do they even give him another fight? What do you think?
I don't know, man. The thing is, like, and that's maybe weird for me to say, but he says that he didn't get injured with the introduction. But
Sure seemed like it.
yeah, I'm like, dude, you're like a fat guy like myself. It's not a really good thing to try to like to jump like a couple of like a couple of feet in the air before you start a fight. You know, it's like if I do that, I probably sprain my ankle as well, or maybe I break everything I have. But it's like not really good. And also, I think he was just recovered from an injury. You know, so. Yeah, I mean, a good win for Kennedy. Happy for the dude, but at the same time, it's like, where do you put this win? I don't know. You know,
It saved his
really
job.
don't.
I mean, for sure. And
Yeah,
I think that heavyweight. He even said like he's a big dude, right? Like I don't even know how he made 205, but he was saying like his kidneys and organs were like fucked up because of the weight cut. So
Chris is right. Chris is right. By the way, last
Right.
comment. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah,
Marcel's jealous. Barnett jumps higher than probably a little bit, right? For Kennedy, I mean, he's gonna fight another unranked guy. They should re-sign Austin Lane, and he could fight Austin Lane. That would be an okay fight, I guess. Or Thomas Peterson, someone like that. At the bottom of the division, Walter Walker. It's just his first win here, right? So it's nothing crazy. Jamal Pogues, Waldo. He could just fight Waldo, right? They could just rebook the Toffa fight. Any of those fights.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
I know it's Peterson.
Any of those guys in the bottom division. And then for Barnett, I'm going to be honest, Marcel. Like I just think that UFC's either they need to make him an ultimatum. Like either you go to the PI and get in shape and you go to 205, or we're going to cut you. And I hate to say it because he's a great guy, he's a nice guy, and he's awesome. I love Huggy Bear. I love myself a Huggy Bear. But dude, it's like I don't know, the UFC in 2024. I don't know if this is like someone just tunes in for the first time and this is what they see. I don't know if that's great look on the product. I don't know. I hate to say it like that. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like Roy Nelson 15 years ago. It's a different time. I know he's got some knockouts. Don't get me wrong, guys. He has some crazy knockouts, but I just think like having an extra weight doesn't help him. It doesn't help him, But again, Marcel, he is a fan favorite. They'll probably keep him around for another one. They probably will. I'm just trying to think. I don't know who he'd fight. I guess Sean Sharaf if they keep him at heavyweight. That guy that lost to Toffa. Or I guess they could do him and Rebellis too. They could do that fight. They could.
Yeah, why not?
But would you rather tell him like, hey, get in shape and go 205?
Yeah, man.
Think about it. This is a guy that Marcel, he missed weight at his last fight with Jay Collier. He came in 267.
I know.
So, and he's 5'8". You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not in shape right now either. So I mean, I'm not one to talk, but I'm not a professional athlete either. I'm a journalist. So we're in a different spot. And someone's saying Carl Williams. Yeah, they could re-sign Carl and do him and Kennedy. Carl's a free agent, but he wants to come back to the UFC. I think they probably will bring him back too, to be honest with you. Zach saying it's like Pat Brady's PFL debut. Yeah. These guys gotta stop doing this when Bruce Buffer's introducing you. Like, this is like the fight didn't start yet. Don't waste your energy doing this.
Did you hear Bruce Buffer's voice during the Holloway and Topuria?
Yeah, it sounded like it broke a bit, for the first time ever, right? Only heavyweight fight looks good while looking out of shape. Brett Martin. Yeah, Brett Martin's a super heavyweight. He doesn't make 265. So I guess Barnett at least makes 265. He did come in at 265, Marcel, so he's making the weight limit, but he might actually cut weight a little bit to make 265, Chris Barnett, a little bit, potentially. I just like the guy. I like Chris Barnett. You know what I mean? That's why I want the best for him. And I always thought with Roy Nelson, he would have looked pretty good at 205, maybe, instead of being a heavyweight. I feel like this guy's the new Roy Nelson kind of. Huh?
I think we're talking too long about Barnett. We
are. No, we're done. We're done. Yeah, we went a little long. Okay, we just have a few more fights. All right, Farid Basharat defeats Victor Hugo. Yeah, so
I was glad he won.
Yeah, me too, because Victor showed up out of shape or not out of shape. He missed weight. I guess he was out of shape. I don't know. He said he was having a bad weight cut. They moved the fight to featherweight. Farid didn't get paid any extra money. Did you hear about this? He didn't get paid time much. Yeah, I saw his post fight. They asked him and he said no because it was either you fight or you don't get paid. So he's like, okay, I'll take the fight. And he said he called Ali Abdelaziz and Ali said take the fight. And he called Javid and Javid said you can beat this guy, take the fight. So he went in there and fought a guy that was 10 pounds bigger than him, which is fucking ridiculous at this in this sport, in UFC. Because listen, Victor Hugo's not great, but Marcel, it was a 29-28 fight. You know what I mean? Like he was competitive. Ferrer definitely won. I'm just saying it wasn't like a walk in the park. It was not the easiest fight, but I like Ferrer a lot. And he called out Aldo. He's not getting that fight, but he is 4-0 in the UFC, and I like the guy. And I think maybe you can give him a rank guy because he did the UFC a favor here. And then Victor Hugo, Tristan saying cut him. I don't think that's out of the question to cut the guy either. Go ahead though.
Who would you give him?
Ferret?
Yeah.
Or Victor?
Ferret.
I would give. I'm looking at the rank. He's not. I don't know if he gets a rank guy. The winner of Billy Quarantillo. Who's he fighting again? Cub Swanson. Maybe that fight.
You know who I give him?
The winner of Zalal and Shore. What?
I give him the winner of Sahabi against Munoz.
They could do that too.
So he got tried to avenge his brother.
William Gomes. They could do him too.
Who?
William Gomes. William Jaguar Gomes. Your guy.
Yeah.
Any of those fights make sense. I don't think he gets Aldo. I mean, I don't hate him calling him out. I think it's a good call out.
Why not? Yeah.
He won't get that fight. So, but yeah, Victor Hugo, are you cutting him or no?
To be really honest,
my bad. Sorry, guys. He did call Aldo, didn't he? I think he did.
I think he
not?
did too. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
so
but
too.
he's at bantamweight though. Because Aldo's a bantamweight.
Aldo's a bantamweight too.
Someone just confused me. Okay. Zalal's featherweight. Okay, that's what I'm confused. No, Zalal, he used to be a bantamweight. Now he's featherweight. I'm fucking confused as hell right now, guys. I'm so sorry. My bad. I'm looking at the featherweights. My bad, guys. Sorry. Because this fight was at featherweight. That's why I'm confused. Okay. My bad. Fucking Victor Hugo screwed me up, you bastard. He's getting caught now because he screwed me up. Okay. Let's get to bantamweight. Sorry, guys. I made a boo-boo there, but it's not my fault. Because I'm looking at the bow order and it says featherweight, so that's why I screwed up.
I understand.
I mean, again, I think Aldo was a fun fight, but I don't think he gets it. You know what would be a fun fight? Him and this guy Vinicius Oliveira. That would be fun. That would be a fun fight.
Yeah, they were actually they were in talks to fight, but Vinicius couldn't take this fight in October. So
I'd love to see that fight. The winner of Marcus McGee and Jonathan Martinez would be fun.
I think the winner of that fight deserves somebody higher.
Probably, yeah.
I said Zahabi against Munoz, man. I mean, if Zahabi wins, he can avenge his brother.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm good with it.
Or what about no? That's a little bit low. I was thinking about the winner of Jourdain against Henry, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he
deserves I just think it's BS that he didn't get extra money. Like I just think that's ridiculous. But again, they're like, well, you either fight or you don't. So he didn't travel there not to get paid. Last two fights, Ismail Nardiev defeats Bruno Silva. Yeah, I told you, Marcel, Bruno Silva's shot. He's washed, and he's getting cut.
That was a very bad performance. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there, but it didn't look good.
I mean, I don't think Nardiev's great, but he looked good in this fight, obviously. I just think that the opponent's not very good. And then opening up the card, we'll talk about this quick. Yeah, I mean, to me, no one asked Dana about this either, by the way. No one asked him. I think this was probably the worst decision of the year in the sport. I really do. I think this is a complete robbery. This is a robbery. This is the definition of one. Carlos Leal won this fight, and the crazy thing is, it's one of these fights where we talk about this sometimes where a lot of people score the fight 30-27 one guy, and the judges go the other way 30-27. I thought Leal won every round. I thought he won every round. The third round, I think was closer, but I think Leal won every round. And yeah, you can make an argument for Renat, but it's a bad argument. Leal landed by far the more damaging shots. He stuffed most takedowns. Renat's listen, I'm always shitting Renat because it's not his fault the judges gave it to him. But here's the thing. He was did a post-fight presser, and he just said, like, yeah, I won the fight, and he's going after the media or like the commentators, Felder, and because I like that they called him out. They're like, this is bullshit. Like, they're like, this is a robbery, and it is. The thing is, yeah, you can fool the judges. You can't fool the fans, though. You can't fool the fans, and the fans know he lost. The fans know he lost this fight. I'd imagine the UFC matchmakers don't think he won the fight either. And to be honest with you, Marcel, the fact that he's opening the card and the fact that, his last few fights were not that impressive either, I think his stock has gone pretty far down, even though he's on like a 22-fight unbeaten streak. It's crazy. I just don't think his stock's very high right now because he had that draw with Zaleski where he gassed out completely in the third round.
Yeah.
The fight with Dalby was like razor close. And honestly, Marcel, if that fight was in Vegas or another place in like Europe, he probably would have lost that decision. And this fight, I think anywhere except for Abu Dhabi, he loses that decision too. So I like Renat. It's not his fault that the fight got scored this way, but I also feel like he needs to be a little honest. He could have said, yeah, the fight was close. But instead, he's like, no, I won. I clearly won. And I don't know. Anyways, any thoughts on this? Because to me, it was a horrible decision.
I mean, for me, it was like the first round was kind of competitive. I felt like the second round was a clear Leal round. The third round was also for Leal, in my opinion. So when I heard 30-27, I thought Leal had it, you know. I heard 2 times 29-28. And when I heard 30-27, I was like, okay, Leal got it. And then they said Renat. I was surprised because definitely the second round was.
That's the thing. Like, the second
you
round
cannot
was
score
100% for Leal, right?
You cannot score the second round for Renat. You know, the first and third round, you can score that for Renat, but I still would think it would have been a good decision. I think Leal deserved the win here, you know.
Yeah.
And we both picked Renat, so it's not like we wanted Leal to win, but I think he won the fight. So for me, it's like, it's like, and also like the judge who gave it to Renat 30-27, I never heard of the guy before.
Hadi Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. And there was somebody on Twitter said like he's probably because it's an Ali client, but Renata's not an Ali client. But I
don't think that matters. I
also don't think that matters.
I think he had a bad scorecard. I do think that the rest of the fights the guy scored were fine, like, which is kind of weird. But he had a really bad scorecard here, and to me, it's like there has to be accountability. If a guy has a horrible scorecard, like the guy, it actually reminded me of the Tuivasa fight where the guy went, was it 30-27 tie? Is that it reminded me of that. Like, I was like, oh fuck, like they should have removed the guy. They should have said, hey man, listen, you're done for the night. You got to be retrained. The crazy thing is, guys, this guy, if you look at his Instagram, he trains other judges to judge fights. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand how you can give that 30-27 to Leal. Listen, if he scored at 29-28, everybody would have said bad scorecard from all three judges. But now he actually put himself in the spotlight by scoring that second round also for Renat, which was not possible, you know.
They need to like have some sort of appeal system for decisions where, like, if it's like so outrageous, like egregious like this, they could have like 3 more judges watch the fight or something. I don't know, something like that, where they can look at it and be like, all right, this is bad. I don't know what they could do, but you would hope the UFC pays Leal's win bonus. Let's be honest, they probably aren't, right?
Yeah, man, but definitely. But also, unless you're fucking Albert Einstein or somebody, you know, if like 99% of the 100% of the people who got asked says that it's impossible to score a round for the other guy, then that 99% might have a point. You know what I mean? It's not like that 1% is like, I mean, all these people are wrong, you know? It's like you're not fucking Albert Einstein, you know what I mean? So
I completely agree. I just think it was a horrible decision. And someone said Dana probably didn't watch the fight. He might not have watched it. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, it was awful, guys. All right. Martel dropped off. That's fine.
Hello?
You there? Okay, that's fine. We're gonna end this podcast anyway, so that's fine. Marcel's disappeared. All right, guys, we're gonna end this one. We're gonna go and do the UFC Edmonton previews. Just let me get the last comment here from Vato. Last comment. Who do you think wins Renat and MVP? I would still take Renat in this fight, but again, I'm not high on him right now. I'm assuming you take Renat too.
Yeah, with the wrestling, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's end this podcast, guys. Appreciate everyone joining us in here, and we're going to do the UFC Edmonton preview. So thanks again for all you guys that joined us for the live stream here doing the UFC 308 recap. It was a lot of fun. If you missed it, go back, rewatch it. It was a good time as always. And once again, thanks to our new sponsor, Bet105.eu. Marcel, give them a shout out. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to tweet out the UFC Edmonton preview. We're going to go through that card. Looking forward to talking with you, men. And bear with me, guys. I'll tweet it out in 1 second. Thanks.